I think we're recording. Do I
All
got
right, we're recording.
Oh,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna stay like this.
I was
Oh,
a little delayed.
I'm adorable.
it's so precious.
The most adorable.
My cat's
active man I've met.
clawing at the door, so I'm gonna go grab her.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
cool.
I'm gonna start it while you do that. I'm gonna kind of chat because this is all gonna be up anyways, unless I trim this out. So, all right, guys, this is Jason Blaha here, and today we have, well, now we have 4 guests. We've got CJ Domenico, the Deadlift Dad. We have, grip it and rip it.
Rip it and rip
We have
it.
Lewis Whenlock, who is logical lifting, and then we have the infamous Jamie Lewis and his cat.
Yeah, Orphan is my cat.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, so we're gonna probably hit a couple different topics today, and with these personalities, we probably will not.
Very serious. We're gonna be very serious.
It'll be very, we're gonna be very serious. Gonna put on my serious face.
Serious shit.
My people's eye. All right, we're gonna talk a little bit about range of motion. I think that's a good thing to talk about. Shitty range of motion, why we need to use full range of motion, and I think my history, shoulder issues is a perfect example.
Tail there. Can't run with that.
Yeah, range of motion. Hey, you know what? Fuck partials.
Range of motion.
Fuck.
Yo,
partials.
you always gotta get your vegetables in is the key. I'm about getting my greens at all times. You know, I'm all about. This is the oldest. This is the oldest pre-workout supplement other than ephedra that we have. Cannabis. The word ganja is actually a word. It's a Sanskrit word. It's from 500 BC, and it was for their pre-workout drink that was infused with cannabis, and I'd assume ephedra, since they were real big on ephedra as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Were they on cocaine too?
Yeah,
coke,
I think so.
No, not in India. Cocaine was South America. But they actually measured distance in cocaine in the Incan Empire. Distance was measured in the name. I don't remember the name. It started with a C, but it was this little ball that would be like, it's a wad of coca leaves, and how long it took you to chew it. That was a unit of distance. Yeah. Like that's how they measured shit. I know in Europe, all my friends and I measured shit in how many beers it would take to get places. But this was
all right. And I'm gonna throw a disclaimer in so that I don't lose monetization for this.
Oh God,
We're not endorsing cocaine. We are giving historical.
No. And I live in New Jersey where this is fully legal.
You're legal. You're good. Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is for educational
purposes, right? Right. You know, because lifters don't do cocaine.
You've appeased the social media gods now. Everything's good.
You can drug test us all. We'll pass.
Yeah. Right. Shit. Range of motion.
I will. I get pissed.
Fucking
just to be clear, every athlete between 1880 and 1914 was coked up all the time.
Thank you. Okay, that's why I brought it up.
Vin Mariani, and it was the nickname was the athlete's wine. It was endorsed by 2 sitting popes.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Every single athlete drank it. They drank it mid-workout, pre-workout, post-workout, all day long. Bordeaux wine with coca leaves in it that came out to about 1/3 of a gram of coke in each liter of wine.
Did you put that in Days of
I have watched. I have watched one of my actual.
Yeah.
I've watched one of my actual friends do a line right before we competed. I mean, you know, at a powerlifting meet. I rode with him to the meet.
Hey, rip it and sniff it, bitch.
The West Side guys, at least like at the Show of Strength in 2002, they were doing speed in the bathroom like crazy. Those guys, because they were all like, all those Ohio bikers were all. Yeah.
Oh my God! No powerlifting meets. I see.
Remember how they used to all bleed like shit out of their noses?
I'm gonna PR. Yeah, and they're like coked out motorcycle fucking speed junkies and shit. I'm like
trying to emulate.
They always used to gush blood out of their noses while they'd squat. Fucking everybody was like, it's their blood pressure, and it's like, no, meth tore the lining out of their fucking nostrils.
Like that guy's whacked out. Stay away from them, man. They're gonna start doing weird shit.
Yeah.
I think the most popular pre-workout around here now is called crack. So you know,
it's
crack. So they know what they're doing. So you might as well just take crack.
Might as well.
Well, at least we're being honest about the lifting world.
Yeah.
We don't get
to shed light on.
Yeah, we don't lie.
Yeah.
We're good.
Everybody lies. That's the whole point of fucking. I'm like, we just bring it to light, guys. Let's be honest with ourselves here. Let's not
I'm
fucking
enjoying all the shit you're getting at the moment, CJ. To be honest,
thank you.
It is it's tickling me quite a bit. Yes,
it's tickling a few people. That's the whole point of the
videos
video.
are hilarious, though.
Lewis's prostate is a tingle.
Oh,
right
it is.
now.
It is stimulated.
He's got butterflies in his loins right now.
Hey, whatever you do at night, you know what I mean?
Hey, day, night, whatever.
This is
it's all
one
good,
side
bro.
is CJ and one side is me, and we're just getting you right there.
I'm just looking.
And then Jason's coming in underneath at the table, but he's looking you right in the eyes as he's doing it. It's just total eye contact.
I'm the one who's got to make the eye contact here.
Oh my God, how's that feel? It's like angels, right?
It feels amazing. Best feeling I've ever had is
Been working on my finger mobility, so
I see that.
Like,
yeah. Sweet.
I only got a left hand.
Yeah, CJ and I play guitar, so we have to.
We're left hand. We have to know that.
I've noticed, guys. Yeah, you're the good stuff. Yeah. Speaking of mobility, I see you, Jason, doing the pullovers. Yeah.
I'm doing those. I'm doing my dead hangs, doing the pause squats, and slowly working on it. My mobility is still fucking horrific, but it is getting better.
Yeah, sweet.
Like I now have the mobility of a 60-year-old man instead of a 70.
Hey, we're going down in the decades. 50 soon.
there you go.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking
I start off each day like this one old wrestler used to, who was fucking jacked into his 60s, and he was always performing into his 60s. And so I just do a bunch of like weird stretches and arm swings and shit like that. And then I just do frog jumps out with my cats. So I sit down in the third world squat and just do little tiny hops down the.
You need to get this. You need to get this on film. We need some reels of this.
I need to see this frog jumping.
I just don't like to film everything I do, but like my cats love it when I'm down close to them on the ground. So I stay down there, and then I started like kind of doing little like weird like kind of duck walks and stuff like that. But then I read about him doing these little short hops in a squat, and I realized what he meant, and they're fucking dope. You feel very like springy.
I can see that.
Swingy. Yeah. Hey, what about the Igor?
Move my head around like this before. I had no mobility. I couldn't turn my head from side to side. It was ridiculous. Yeah. So I would have to like I couldn't sit like this and talk to you like this. I would genuinely have to like yeah.
Three left instead of a right.
I was like fucking RoboCop, dude. Seriously. Terrible.
What the fuck? Igor? What are you talking about, CJ?
Yeah, the Igor squats. Hold on, this guy has posted about Igor squats. Where you pick we squat, we lift one leg, squat, lift the other leg, squat.
Oh, yeah. God, I love those things, dude.
We call them that because that athlete does them. Igor Kling, whatever the Russian name athlete
he
is.
calls himself Klim Team on Instagram, but it's his last name is Klimachem. I don't know what. There's a lot of stuff.
Oh, that's it. You got it right.
Unorthodox lifting. I like it.
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, cool.
Oh my God, dude, I love that. And plus, that shit gets more looks because I come in just wearing I'm wearing tiny little fucking
nice pants,
swim trunks and shit, and I just walk in there, my hey dudes, and I'm like, I do a bunch of weird stretches and shit, and everybody's kind of like laughing, and then I just start doing those marching squats, and I'm standing on one foot, like standing on one foot with the other foot in the air with 185 on my back, and then just doing the other side and stretching out my hip and shit, and people are looking at me like, okay, now what the fuck is happening? And so it's very fun. Like it's such a fun flex. Oh, I love being mobile and being able to stand on one foot is so dope. I've never been able to do it in my entire life. And it's awesome. I was really missing out.
It sounds like something you take for granted. But yeah, awesome, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How stiff were you? Were you like a fucking board, like a plank? Like do not take a shit?
I have almost passed out from trying to tie my shoes. Because I couldn't, my abs were all knotted up. So I couldn't bend forward at all. I couldn't go back and I couldn't go forward. I was like locked in place completely. Yeah. So there was no turning, no twisting, nothing. I could go fast in a straight line and that was it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Sounds healthy.
Yeah, you guys are young enough that you don't get this. Jamie and I are learning the hard way that as you get past 40, your mobility disappears fucking fast. like
No, it's
real
not about
fast.
that.
If
It's
you
just-
don't
Is
stay
it
on
just
top
like
of
past
it.
40, or is it because you've just been doing the same shit?
It's probably the same. It's probably think
It's
the whole
gotta be that.
combination. It's got to be the whole combination, but you have to
It's
stay
the
on top
fact
of it.
that over your life you keep getting these weird little injuries and then not fixing them, and so your
Yeah.
body builds a little scaffold of knots and fascia to lock that thing in place so that it's steady, and that fucks up the everything else in your body, and then you injure something else, and it goes and fucks up everything else in your body in a different direction. And then you injure something else, and so how many injuries do you have over your life? Your body is racked with like all these different structural injuries and then we've been pounding it with heavy weights and no flexibility for the longest time, so our range of motion keeps getting shorter and shorter and tighter and tighter and tighter, and we keep getting more and more compact, and like so I've just keep expanding out wider and wider like a flying squirrel. It's amazing. My wife's annoyed as shit by it, but like, and it's just because like I just like all of a sudden like now I can move my shoulders out and like I just keep getting wider, and like my lats will flare out more, and I'm just like, wow, this is awesome. I'm not even trying to do it. It's just like I just realized like, oh my God, I can like touch my back now. I could never touch my back.
Yeah, I can't do that. Right
and
now.
I figured out that pointy elbow shit was just because all my muscles were knotted up trying to get to my
Let
my
me
elbows
try to
and
touch my back. Let me try.
Yeah, see?
Almost. That's better
Yeah.
than it
Oh,
was.
shit.
I can do all this now. Like I can get my other
Oh,
arm behind my
shit.
back. Like
Look at
Yeah,
this
I mean,
fucking guy.
yeah.
Holy shit.
I could never
you can
do that
it.
before.
Oh,
I
yeah.
know. That's why I'm like, wow. That's
Awesome,
good.
man.
So,
Yeah.
did it take a year, like a rehabilitation work for that? Like I think you told me it took a few years, right? Like you had to rub the knots out, and
3 years.
3 years.
3 years, and now I
That's
can do
important to
this. Like I can do this now. That's
Wow.
3 years.
That makes sense, though. Because if you've been doing the other shit for like decades, 3 years is quite a short amount of time to want to do it.
With an obsessive, non-stop amount of massage. Like I get up at 5 because my hand wakes me up. Because I broke this wrist in high school during a football game, played the entire game with a broken wrist, got it casted up after dinner, like so long after the game, and it never like fixed it. It never got fixed, right? And then my whole arm was fucked up as a result. So now I'm dealing with all that. And now I'm finally getting back to like, all right, so most of this arm's back to high school level. I just got to fix this wrist and I can fix the rest of my arm.
Right.
Sweet.
But it's never ending. Oh my God. It's like
the
movie The Money Pit,
dude,
for real. It's like 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
That sciatic shit's real too. When my foot went numb, I got drop foot. I literally had to massage and take a rest and walk. That was self-rehabilitation. That was horrible.
Shit.
But how much of this comes from us not training full range of motion, not getting into those stretch positions?
All of it.
It is.
And everybody who has kids, you better put your kids in Ninja Warrior training right now. Get them in a ninja gym. Holy
They have
shit.
the energy. They have the energy. Get them on. That's all I gotta say. They'll like it.
Oh my God, those kids will be super. I mean, we're seeing it in Ninja Warrior now. Plus, when they start lifting, they get fucking jacked. One of the best kids is one of the best people in the world in Ninja Warrior is 15 years old. His name is Vance Walker. And he just started lifting weights like 2 years ago. Now he's fucking jacked. So
yeah, you
like,
linked
I
me
don't
some
know,
of
my
stuff.
height like 160 or something like that.
He's strong as
huge
hell.
biceps, and he's like close to winning $1 million at Ninja Warrior. It's at 16, like, and he's the sweetest kid too. So you end up being a nicer person as well. And then when they start lifting weights, they get jacked. I know, because I've had clients that do it.
Well, yeah, because they have mobility. But we come back over to, there's so much bad exercise science out there, but what we're finding over and over and over, all of it is finding consistently lengthened positions create the most muscle growth.
Yeah.
So getting muscles into stretch positions under load is the largest hypertrophic response. So, again, squat ass to grass. Your benching needs to be all the way down. Maybe you should throw some dumbbell work or dips or something in to get an even deeper stretch. And how does that carry over to strength?
Really,
everyone wants to do
powerlifting form. All powerlifting forms have ruined lifting. They have.
Oh yeah,
and I've discovered that over time. But like, that's why people have fucked up knees and all that shit. It's from squatting like a fat ass methed out trucker, rather than squatting like an adult with dignity and self-respect who wants to touch his ass to his feet. Like, it's crazy what we did, but we went so stupid, going so hard at being stupid. God damn.
Are you talking about like the extreme level though? You think like the wide benching with a big eye?
Yeah, you're talking about that, right? You're talking about the wide.
I'm talking about arching your back. Even I found now the root of the layback in the Olympic press. I thought it happened because of the Russians. It was the way the Germans. So the Germans did a layback and the Germans did the continental, and that's why the French were like, we fucking lift correctly. These guys lift like fucking idiots, and this is disgusting. They're disgusting. They're fat. Nobody wants to look at them. Why are we even talking about this? And because the airlifters were actually making money in France lifting weights in these cafes. Like, it was the only place in the world. People think that the people who were in America who were lifting weights, like Eugen Sandow, they were making all this money in front of these crowds. That one bodybuilding contest did, but like, they were second and third stringers on vaudeville. Like, nobody gave a fuck about watching people lifting weights. And so, like, even the best ones, they're like, who fucking cares? Shut up. But in France, they actually cared because the guys were like party beasts and they were jacked and they all looked amazing. And so when they had these Austrians beating them in competitions, they were like, God damn it. So they ended up like starting to compromise on the rules, which is how we ended up with the flat-footed squat instead of the deep knee bend that people used to do, which was basically a third world squat. So you start with your feet flat. They started everything with from a military attention position, like the old school one, with your heels together. And then you have to like, and I recommend you guys all do this. If I don't know, CJ, if you've done this, but if you put your heels together at your feet at a 90-degree angle and squeeze your legs together as hard as you possibly can, like at your knees and your hips, and squeeze your ass cheeks, your knees will explode. It genuinely sounded like gunshots went off in the room. My knees immediately felt better. Like, you can actually break shit off your knees just from standing in that position. And that's the starting position for the deep knee bend, and also for the military press. Like, you were supposed to maintain a perfectly erect upper right body throughout the squat and throughout the military press, which is not how we learned to do it at all.
I remember old guys doing it that way.
Position of attention, move.
When I first started training, I remember all the old guys in the gym. That's how they overhead pressed, always with their heels together. You know, it's strict. They would touch their clavicle and use it. Very strict. But it would be all the old dudes.
Way to do it.
That's our age now. You know,
that's what you're trying to do. That's what you need to do.
Weight, like the most tonnage, so you just shorten the range of motion. So I suppose that's
exactly.
Yeah.
And they end up doing this shit to their eyes, chin, not here.
Yeah,
it's so bad. I hate seeing this.
You have to start from like the nose level to do a press because they're so fucking tight.
But it's because
man can't do a real.
I'll throw myself on my sword because Lewis quoted me. What did I say? If you think partial reps are shit, you're partially retarded. I'm paraphrasing. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but I was a huge fan of partial reps because I had no range of motion. Could never lock out my arms in my entire life. I'm getting to that point now. But I genuinely could never do it. And so I couldn't do the Olympic lifts. I couldn't get in the rack position, which, oh my God, it's a valuable position to be able to get into.
Right.
Like that stretch is really good for your arms.
I'm working on that now. I did front squats this week for the first time in a long time, and my rack position is limiting me. I got to 285, and I'm like, that's all I can rack.
Just work bodybuilder style front squats, and then work on your rack position, and then you'll get there. But do the bodybuilder style, because also you have all these. Everything that you think that is hard in your shoulders that you think is bone is not bone. That is a knot. It's a big ball of fascia on top of your shoulder that you think is bone and muscle, but it's just a fucking mess. So you have to squash it all out with the barbell. And the best way to do that is to alternate front and back squats. And I found that the walking squats really help because it kind of
that's love marks.
Yeah.
You just walk and squat.
Oh, the marching squat. So you.
The Igor. Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
The Igor. Yeah. The Igor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are great for that because you can just use the same weight and alternate front and back, and it feels amazing. But I don't want to stop and fucking film it and like lose my music and lose my groove and all that shit. So whatever. I'll tell you guys about it on this. I really don't care.
Excellent.
No, I've never bought into the partials for getting strong anyways. And I get guys all the time who are like, okay, but if you can lock out, you get used to that weight. And I'm like, no, you're getting used to doing that weight at a position to where it's not heavy anymore. Like it's irrelevant if you can do 600 on a lockout, if the bottom you're failing 500. You know, you're not getting any stronger by doing that. Because if you look at most of let's just take even the power lifts, bench press and squat. Where are we all weakest? At the bottom. We are. And no amount of lockout work is going to improve your ability to get that weight moving out of the bottom. It's just not going to happen. That's where the muscles are weakest. They're in the most stretch. And again, if we just train that way, they'll get bigger. We'll actually gain muscle from it. You know, get into those stretch positions. You don't have to get used to the heavy weight.
What is full range of motion? Is that per exercise, or just are we saying the fullest range we can do? Because we talk about the powerlifting bench.
It's a little ambiguous.
Versus a close grip, and then we can throw in like dumbbells or a McDonald bar. What's full range there? Is it for the exercise?
I think it's the combination. You know, for most of the exercises, we should do it for the exercise, but we also should probably add some work to get it for the entire joint.
Legit, totally.
If you're not able to get a deep enough stretch on your bench press due to the bar, well, maybe you should do some dumbbells. Maybe you should do some deep dips. Maybe you should, like you said, a McDonald bar. I have one.
I just have a boner for the McDonald bar. I just love it. That's why.
What in the fuck is a McDonald bar?
It's a bar with a notch in it.
The Buffalo bar, bro.
No, even deeper.
No, I've got both of those. So it lets you go deeper. It lets you add range of motion.
Like, I imagine that's a deep stretch.
Okay, well, the guy who wait, how much does this? How much did you guys pay for this?
Couple $100.
Same as a standard bar. Yeah.
I didn't pay for that bar. I don't have one. I just know.
Oh, yeah. 200, about 180, 200 quid in the UK. Same as my other.
What do they run? Like $200 or something like that?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, with you guys. Yeah.
But that's an older school bar. That's from the 70s. The guy who invented that benched like 550 in the 180.
I know who Mike McDonald is. I read about Mike McDonald. But also Mike McDonald and everybody like that trained with a flat back all the time.
Yeah.
It was an entirely different, even the incline bench that you guys do is in a totally different lift than we're talking about for these guys. A completely different lift. You've changed the mechanics entirely and you've changed the range of motion entirely. So we're just trained to do a shorter range of motion. I mean, even down to a military press. Try to do one without packing your shoulders. It feels like you're going into psychosis. Like you're going to fall forward for one. And also you're like, what? Why would I even do this? This doesn't feel right. It hurts. It's weird. That's where you're supposed to be doing that fucking press. And if you hold that in that position, kind of like the squat, that's real, but it's not, it's a different bottom than what you would do if you were going out of a rack or something like that. You know what I mean? Like there's the whole thing's different. And because you'd be packing your shoulders, you always come into it with a, pack your shoulders, arch your back. And that artificial arch has fucked us all up. So now we have really overstretched, but really tight hip flexors and the whole thing's a fucking mess. So yeah, what I was going to say also, but it's not just the bottom that is important. Like I was just saying there, where you got to change the position. It's often like 2 inches from the top or the bottom that you'll get that weird like wobble that you have to power through. That is the motherfucker. And that exposes your weakness. And that's what you got to watch. Like that's an Achilles heel. And that's where you're going to get injured. Like that's the motherfucker. You got to train that spot and keep finding those spots over and over and training that spot.
But would you do that through like a full range press anyway?
What's that?
Would you not just do that by doing the lift in general anyway?
Yeah, but if you do a static hold in that spot with a lighter weight, you know what I mean? So you find that spot where you're like, oh, and you just hold it as long as you can until you just bang it on your face or like, you catch it right after that because that's the weak spot. But still, then you can do a slow rep on the way down and then work the bottom stretch. But if you really concentrate on holding that midpoint and flexing as grip the bar, I found grip the bar as hard as you possibly can.
I do that on everything anyways. Yeah.
Do you really? Because now that I started really like the only thing I focus on now is gripping the bar as hard as I can. And you can feel shit pop into place and you start like you'll feel shit like drop or whatever, and you're like, oh, now my shoulders are like, oh, I can pack them, but I shouldn't pack them. Roll them forward. We're now where they're supposed to be. So that's one of the reasons why I like barbell or machines as well, because it helps you figure out those spots, and it kind of, you have a spotter to hold you in place when your shoulder kerthunks back into space or whatever.
Yeah, I've gone big on machines this past
I
year.
put a lot of my.
Same here.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Rise of the machine, bitch.
Well, it's just, but that's the thing. It's just another tool in the toolbox. You know, we get married to these things of, oh, the barbell is the best. Oh, this machine is the best. Dumbbell is the best. Calisthenics are the best. They're not. They're just tools in your toolbox. You should have a varied toolbox.
Yeah, no, they are all parts of a whole, and we need to respect the fact that they are individual pieces and like equal pieces of a whole that we need to respect, that we stop respecting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Well, it's about having well-rounded training.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And just like these old school guys, like in the 19th century, used to be able to compete. They used to be able to perform until their 60s. Like, I just saw a commercial with Emmett Smith where he's like falling asleep on the couch. How old's that motherfucker? 55? What are we doing? Like, we're going backwards now.
I know what it is, man.
Watch out.
Indulgence.
Shit. But you
that
boys.
Cocaine. Yo, those Cowboys. Those Cowboys did some cocaine.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin used to smoke crack in the locker room at halftime.
Right.
What the fuck, dude?
All right, we're gonna go out there, guys. We're gonna rip and smoke this crack pipe. All right.
And these fucking kids on Reddit are going, you had too much caffeine to call yourself natty. Get the fuck out of here. Rip it, bitch.
Rip it.
Last drink.
You know, you can tell they've never been around sports in general. They have no clue.
Competitive atmosphere.
They don't even live.
Well, I think things are sterilized in the way, like, even like me and Lou are like the same age, and you guys, things are like more sterilized today. I noticed, you know what I'm saying? Like that extreme. I like that extreme. You know, I'm a pretty extreme person when it comes to certain things. I think things are sterilized with lifting. That's why I do these videos, to shed everything, deconstruct the bitch madness of it all. We're not all perfect. We're not perfect. Laugh a little, guys. Just laugh. Just laugh at yourself.
Everything's fucking cool, but it's also fucking lame at the same time. Like,
if you
focus on that, then it is lame. Just take something for everything.
But that's
it.
Improvement.
Like I say, the comments you're getting, the responses just crack me up. Because you've obviously pissed off some people because they're so emotionally invested. You can't talk bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman.
They'll stalk me. They find my name on powerlifting websites. So you've only done 2 meets. I'm like, bro, I don't care. I did strongman too. Like, I don't care.
They do the worst doxing ever because they comment like, this guy doesn't even lift. It's like, I've seen this guy bench 400 pounds. Like, he's not a weak guy. Like, I've seen him deadlift like 600, 700. Like, what the fuck? How can you
apparently
say
my deadlift is mid? Yeah, I'm mid apparently to the internet. I don't know. Whatever that means.
I mean, look, Lewis, you see the stuff I get people who are all the time. You just like a fat guy who never lifts. That's what they tell me. They're like, you look like a fat guy who's never worked out.
Yeah.
It
takes 2 seconds to find this information.
Somebody sent me a screenshot the other day that was like, oh, what the fuck does he know? He had a world record 10 years ago. Who gives a fuck? What does he know? I'm big now. And I was like,
how about you?
Hey, all right, well, whatever.
Who are you? I never heard of you.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know who it was, but I was like, I'm still big. Actually, I look better than I did, so I'm not even real worried about it. Like,
that ties into longevity and masculine. I think we're going to talk about the young man masculinity mentality, the ego side of things.
The ego side of it,
yeah. I just let it go now. I don't give a fuck.
Well, we said on the last one, Jay, we were all talking about, you know, we've been through changes and we've kind of all evolved from that shit. But yeah, you just let it go now. You don't need to prove anything.
I think that's just a more mature mindset of when you just say, I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
It's also breaking a world record and being like, all right, see, I told you guys this was easy, and everybody being like, whatever, nobody gives a shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, no, that was bullshit.
I was even,
yeah. Somebody broke it like 3 weeks later, so who gives a shit? And it's like, I don't give a fuck. I still had the record there for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I would cling to that.
Yeah.
But the internet's created those weird mentalities too, you know, of that if someone broke a record 10 years ago, they're not even strong by today's standards. It's like,
yeah, but it's like,
but none of you guys are doing it. I mean, the
guys
thing,
in
all
the
the people who are
UK
talking shit about that, they can't lift anything.
well, guys in the UK will talk shit if you cannot deadlift what Eddie Hall deadlifted. It's like, oh, this guy's 400 kilos or 300 kilos. Oh, well, Eddie Hall did 500. It's like, fucking 300 kilos is still heavy as fuck. What are you talking about? What are you on about? Who does that? You go to a commercial gym, no one does that. But if it's not like Eddie Hall, then you're weak. It's like, and these are the guys commenting, don't even lift.
Yeah, it's almost like lifting is turned into other sports. You know, guys who are talking shit about NFL players who, you know, they broke their knee in high school and haven't done any sports or exercise since they were 16, but they're going to talk shit about NFL players.
Like,
can't stand those guys. I really can't stand those people.
So in strongman, you can use the triple ply suit, right, to do your pull.
Yeah, you can do anything.
They do
it says otherwise. Yeah.
You guys have used the suits, right?
I tried a single ply, and man, dude, it adds so much weight to what you can pop off the floor.
A deadlift suit.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
don't give a fuck about that either. Like when people are like, "Oh yeah, he did this and that," I'm like, he's wearing a fucking suit. And, there was some video the other day. Somebody posted somebody who's supposed to be strong, and they were wearing knee wraps and squatting a weight that was not terribly. Oh, it was like a 21-year-old, but he squatted 800 real high wearing knee wraps, and I'm like, he might be able to squat 600 at depth with no wraps on.
Right?
Maybe if his life was in danger.
At best,
still a solid weight. But still,
like those knee wraps
still solid weight, by the way.
110 pounds, right? 110 at least.
I've seen guys get 100 out of them.
Yeah.
One of my mates, Tim, he said he can get about 50 kilos, so about 110 pounds out of his tight.
So I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I just don't give a fuck.
Well, and
I don't care how fast you can drive your car either.
Sleeves are starting to get that bad too.
Hold on, Jamie. I was saying Jamie remembers the fucking Static Monsters meet. How many motherfuckers were wearing deadlift suits, and I was like the only one wearing a belt.
Yeah,
you know?
No, exactly. Yeah.
You were wearing a belt.
I smoked everybody too, and I smoked everybody at a wrapped meet too, and I was just like, "How are you a knee wrap squatting less than me? This is disgraceful. Pull yourself together. What the fuck are you doing here?
What are you doing?"
Yeah, I think you can go one or two ways with it. It's like when people shit on like the squat briefs and that. And, you know, you see, what's he called? Is it Dave Hoff? Mr.
Dave Hoff. Yeah, that guy is what, with the CPAP machine and the diabetes. He's like,
don't hassle the Hoff. Don't hassle the Hoff.
He's quite like 500 kilos. And yes, it was in a suit. He had wraps on.
Who cares?
I mean, that on his spine. Like 3 attempts. You know, like, it's still impressive. It's not as impressive to me.
No, it's not.
I don't care.
No, it's not.
You know
I've done partial squats with 1,000 pounds with none of that fucking shit on. I don't give a fuck. It is the least impressive. Equipped squatting couldn't be less impressive. It is fat people who are fucking delusional, and they don't even work out. It's a disgrace.
Hey man, these blobs get in their suits. They're like, "Yeah, bro," and they got roids in their fat. They're like, I was kidding, by the way.
No, I've seen it. I'm just gonna miss.
I'm over here coughing.
I've had to judge some of those
because I was smoking liquid diamonds all morning.
Yeah, Jamie tends to go on the serious side of things.
Look at that. Yeah. Look at that. Drink it in. There you go.
Camera's gonna start.
Werfins likes you guys.
Oh my god.
Oh, all right.
Yes, Lewis, I judged some of the meets over there in the UK when I was living there. And yeah, I saw some of that with the equipped guys. And I mean, even just struggling to hit depth in those suits.
Oh, yeah.
It's like.
Even struggling to take a breath while sitting still.
Yeah.
How about that? How about snoring while they're awake like a fucking bug? What the fuck?
They can't do pull-ups, bro. No, I've talked to power. They're like, yeah, I wish I could do a pull-up. I was like, you're kidding, bro. I was like shocked. I was like, you deadlift more than me. Like, bro, are you serious right now? Yeah, they can't do a fucking pull-up.
Yeah,
weird.
We mentioned that in the
Well,
last one.
I'm only because of my shoulder issue. I can't.
I know about you. I'm not talking
like
about
shit
you.
about it. I'm trying to fix it. I want to get back to
Yeah.
pull-ups.
Yeah.
Rip it, bitch! No.
It's taken me a while to get back to being comfortable doing dips. Like now I'm back to being able to do 30 to 50 dips in a clip, but like it was because it really hurt to get into position, and I forced myself to like sit at the bottom and stuff. And and it's embarrassing as fuck when you can't do a dip. What are you doing?
Right.
Like, how are you even calling yourself a lifter?
That's
But
crazy,
where I was.
man.
Again, I mean, an athlete should be able to move their body through space. That's just part of being an athlete.
You know, I think Jamie told me about 3 years ago.
Human should be able to do that. Like,
was it 3 years ago?
Person.
4 years ago. I did.
I don't know. What did I tell you? You said I think Jamie told me. I don't know.
Yeah,
3 years ago. Yeah.
It was no. I'm thinking out loud. Hold on.
Jamie.
At Ranger School, I failed sit-ups, and he's like, "I don't know how to put this lightly, deadlift dad, but you just failed fitness test." Like, and mind you, this is Ranger School. These instructors are like dickheads. And like I was doing the right amount of sit-ups, they were just giving me shit. They're like, "Oh, this big guy did it." Well, I wasn't even big. I was like 220 at the time. What the fuck is this, bro? You know what I'm saying? 6 foot 220. But yeah, it's funny that he says that. No, that's funny.
Thank you, my lady. And thank you, my lady. I appreciate it.
Stay athletic, stay mobile. Don't give a fuck what they say. All right.
Rip it.
Exactly.
You know the slogan.
Yeah,
He's
but
literally ripping it.
Oh, that's
Right.
another liquid diamonds, John.
But that was one of the things I thought would be good to get CJ in these chats because again, because of what you do, you have to be well rounded. I mean, you're a soldier. You're out on the field.
I have to run that 2-mile run, bro. I have to at the event. I am graded on my cardiovascular endurance. Like I have to run it under 20 minutes or 21 minutes at my age from 31 to 35 bracket. It's under 21 minutes. It's good, but I've had it close calls at like 19 minutes, 18 minutes, like you're already smoked at those prior events, those deadlifts, the overhead throws, the hand release push-ups, and the sprint drag carry, which, I'm great on that. But once it comes to the run, that's the pitch right there.
What is it? 2 miles in 19 seconds?
No. Oh my God. Holy shit. Actually,
19 minutes. 19 minutes. I mean, wait.
19 minutes.
I'm not gonna spend diamonds by myself.
21 minutes. 21 minutes, man. It's under 21
2
minutes.
miles in 20 2 miles in 21 minutes.
Right, because you have 4 events prior to that. I know, but it's all about being a well-rounded, like it's like a strongman-esque cross.
Yeah.
Summation of the two.
I always had this thing. I was obsessed with running 3 miles. So I just wanted to make sure I was running that I heard too. Cause I was like, I thought the Marine test to max it out was 3 miles in 18 minutes. Cause I know I maxed that.
Was it
test.
8? I think it was 20. It's under 20 for Marines. I think.
Yeah,
you maxed it.
It was 18. I don't know. I just did the Marine ROTC test just because I wanted to see how I did. And then, oh my God, I hated Marines. Every Marine I met, I was like, what the fuck have I done? Let me out of here. But I was at this, like,
I enjoy
had to
them.
go
They're
through
cool.
all the tests. I had to go through all the tests to get out of it. So I was just like, please, like, if I do better, can I go faster? Just please, nobody talk to me. The food's bad. The people are bad. Everything's bad. Just please, no, please stop. I don't want to wrestle anybody else. Please, God, help me.
CJ, is that
everybody wants to wrestle?
It's not hindered you, has it? Being able to run, it's not hindered your lifting. It's not hindered anything.
I mean, we've seen him deadlift, so I'm going to say no. It has.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, I can take a backside of running, but there's a give and a take. I mean, if I do not run, I do get slower, and that's on my own case. But when I was getting into heavy lifting and running on the back end all the fucking time, my run time was like 15 minutes. I was pulling 600, whatever the fuck. Yeah. Johnny on the spot. I was good. I was lean as shit, and then I decided to go in the dark side of more heavier lifting and strongman, and then that kind of took away from the run time. So
yeah, of course.
But you also weigh more though.
Went a little back. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which would obviously count.
But yeah, it doesn't. Running doesn't kill your gains, and that's a stupid ass misconception.
Oh, of course.
I think younger people have that problem. I don't think older guys
still have that
problem.
It's just this myth that's kind of prevalent still.
Well, it's something I tell all my clients. I'm like, any cardio that you're conditioned to is not going to impact your gains. Like once you're used to it, you're good. like if you've been doing X amount of running already for a while, you can maintain that and just make gains just fine.
Yeah.
It's once you're adapted to it, that's the main thing.
All of the old school guys used to run 2 to 3 miles every day to wake up. Like they'd wake up, they do a bunch of stretches, they do a chest expander, which I'm gonna get one of because it's kind of like bands, except you can work it in more directions and shit. And they swore by them, so I'm just doing everything old school now. Yeah. So I'm gonna get one.
So speaking of balancing running with lifting, when I told a lot of my fans that I'm gonna
run on the ground, like don't run on the street all the time. Like really, you got to work your ankle flexibility and shit like that. And the easiest way to do it is to just make it a little harder and run on the grass or run. I like to run on the curb because I'm a psychopath, but. In my head, I'm training to win Ninja Warrior of 55 or something like that at like 225 pounds of shred.
Ninja Warrior Masters.
A shaved chimp. Yeah, that's what that's. No, fuck Masters. Like I'm winning the real shit. Like I'm not trying to do that. I will never compete in Masters. I don't care how old I am.
Yeah.
So
that's a stupid distinction. Fuck that shit.
Running standards for lifters, because I actually had some.
Okay, what is it?
You know, what do you consider, like, for a 200+ pound lifter, what is an acceptable run time for like a 5K? Like how many minutes?
Doesn't matter. Your weight doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
Well, weight doesn't matter. Nobody cares about your weight. Yeah. We're not. Stop thinking like a power lifter and doing all these artificial distinctions. It's just running. It's just running. It's a normal human activity.
So what's a decent?
Do you really think that a person is going to walk faster or slower based on and that's like ergonomic based on their speed is based on how much they doesn't make any sense.
To a point. Yeah.
So what do we consider to be an acceptable run time? Like what's decent? What's a good run time? You can say that you don't suck.
An 8-minute mile.
15-minute 2 mile or 8-minute mile. Yeah.
That's you don't suck. That's not good. That's just you don't absolutely suck as an 8-minute mile.
What about a 5K? So let's say we want to be balanced and we want to lift. And what sort of 5K time can we say we don't fucking suck?
What's the Ranger standard? It's under 25. Is it 25 to 30 minutes? I think it means you don't suck under that time. Okay. Under 27 minutes, I think.
Okay. 20 minutes would be a legit
20.
time.
I would say 25 is you don't suck.
25.
I used to run 3 miles every day religiously. Now I don't run more than a mile at a time. As a religion because of Bruce Lee. So.
Yeah. That's pretty dope. See, you went in a state of mind. That's pretty dope, man. That's the thing we should all get into, that state of mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fuck
you sound like Buchenhagen now, CJ.
Oh fuck, dude! I forgot about that guy. Hey, I swear we're like brothers from mothers, dog. I don't even.
What's his line with that? It's just a state of mind.
It's a state of mind. You know, it's a mindset. That's what he said.
It's a mindset.
Boog is a strong, fit dude. You know, he's jacked. He's strong.
Totally.
He is.
He used to be with Chaos and Pain back in the day. Eh?
He did. I know. He did. Yeah, I was the first person to sponsor him. I got him on social media, in fact.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? Know. I hope that he has a priest to bless his pancreas every day. Like, just please, just keep it together one more day, because I worry about that man's
diabetic these days.
Huh?
He's nearly turned himself diabetic with this Serious Mass, the Optimum Nutrition supplement.
Mm-hmm.
He did an experiment with that, and now
is that what did it? It was it was a mass gainer that did it.
Yeah, mass gainer. Experiment with that, and now he's kind of
quote unquote mass gaining something.
Mass gainer. I've had that.
Yeah, that's the last thing I heard from him.
Yeah.
I mean, you keep it in your refrigerator, right? You know.
Oh shit! That was wrong with that. Oh fuck.
I find that very interesting. Interesting.
Nice slur.
Chicken, broccoli, and rice.
That's it, man. Chicken, broccoli, and rice.
But yeah. Obviously, he's a jacked, fit dude.
And no, CJ, we just got to add a glucose disposal agent.
Dude, I have to say that the way he blew out his ACL was the dumbest but most epic way. Oh my God!
How'd that happen?
That guy's a beast.
What did he do?
Bringing back the press slam. Wait, you guys don't know what he did? He had old school, like the Ultimate Warrior. He had a dude on his shoulders because he actually does a press slam. He can actually straight press the guy and then drop him behind him.
Yeah.
So he was gonna press slam him, and then he fucking did a lunge with the dude on his back. And as he was standing back up, his fucking ACL blew off, or he tore his patellar tendon or some shit. But he did a lunge with a live 280-pound man on his back.
Yeah.
What? It's idiotic.
Yeah.
But it is legit
cool.
as a strength.
Yeah.
And because he did it in the ring, you know for a fact he's done it before. This isn't something he just tried on the spur. So that's a strong motherfucker. No disrespect to the guy.
Did we lose CJ, or is he just doing this?
The dude is a tank.
I don't know what CJ's doing. CJ doesn't like us.
Okay, caught back up.
He just frozen.
Just now, CJ looked like he was taking our call. He's our customer service rep for Zoom. We lost our customer service rep again.
CJ.
He'll catch back up. My internet does that sometimes too.
CJ.
Anyway, so range of motion. We all agree it should be better. I'm telling you, it should be.
I hope you. Yes.
Much, much, much different than you think it needs to be. It needs to be. You need to get rid of every point in your body where you can't straighten something, like my right arm still, or you can't do something or roll your arm in a certain way, or when you have to reach for something and you have to cant your arm a certain way, like I used to have to do, and reach like this. So my arm was always like this. That's a problem, and you need to fix these things. And if you don't fix those things, they become a bigger problem. So it's just something you're ignoring. And like I said to Jason, I likened it to, over the last 30 years, instead of learning how to paint a house correctly and then doing it correctly, I just, like a psychotic fireman, just ran to the paint store, grabbed a bucket full of paint, ran back to the house, threw the bucket of paint onto the house, ran back to the paint store, grabbed a bucket of, and I did this like a psychopath for 30 fucking years, and then told you guys it was a good fucking idea. And I regret that, but I have to admit I made the mistake moving forward, because everybody got very complacent in lifting, and I was trying to get the mindset back to this is supposed to be an aggressive, fun, joyful, explosive, like it's supposed to be a thing. It's supposed to be a celebration of strength, not a job. Like that's what I was trying to impart to people. And so I'm glad I got that across. But now I need to help everybody as I help myself, help everybody else. And I'm not saying this because I'm trying to sell something. I'm saying this because I was a fucking cripple, and I don't want everybody else to be crippled, especially not on account of my mistake.
Right.
So I regret the mistake, but like that pain that you get in your sternum periodically where it feels like it's stabbing you, that is your muscle fascia stuck on each other. That is not muscle. That is a big ass fucking knot. So you just have to sit like this constantly, just waiting for the knot to go away all day long, every day, over and over. Then you walk around with dents in your shirt, looking like a fucking psychopath. So you switch to a different part of your body, like your face or the back of your head, to try to get rid of knots there. And it's a mess, but it goes away over time. So I don't know. You can fix it, but it is a never-ending process, I will tell you. Just like fixing up an old house.
And people don't like that when we try to right the ship, because I do that a lot of saying, hey, there's some stuff I got wrong. Let me adjust. And the people are like, well, you're just flip-flopping. You can't be, you know, it's like, because you changed the position you had 7 years ago, you know, based upon new information, because we should all be learning and evolving as human beings in all aspects of our lives.
I know guys usually use that against you, Jason. You said this 10 years ago. It's like, well, yeah, fucking hell.
Oh God, it's so stupid. And I look at the shit from 10 years ago. I'm like,
you gotta move the mic away from your mouth, my guy. Again, it's when it's touching your tongue.
Okay. Is that better?
Is that better? Yep.
Of course, your screen's still frozen, CJ.
Just frozen.
Okay, now go.
Oh shit, frozen. My bad.
It's been that way for like
3
minutes.
Just talk.
Yeah, just talk.
All right,
we haven't seen you. We
so
thought you were
the
gone.
shit from 10 years ago. You thought I was gone.
Yeah, we can't see
man?
you.
I've
We've
been
been
here
able
all
to
the
see
time.
you for like 15 minutes.
You just been frozen.
Holy fuck.
But
All
we're glad
right,
you're not.
man.
You haven't said a
Yeah, yeah.
fucking word either.
Yeah.
So
This is a customer service rep. You know, I heard that part. You know, whatever the fuck.
yeah,
Fucking
because you
internet
literally
sucks.
look like a customer service rep for T-Mobile. Like, hello, my name is CJ.
Oh.
How can I help you today?
T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love
I'm
T-Mobile.
I'm terribly sorry to hear that, sir.
Hey, you got a jitterbug phone too, bro? Holy fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously stances change. You evolve.
And they have to.
More knowledge.
They have to. Yeah, the people who are trying to sell you something, they never change their position because they're too financially invested in that 7th ebook back.
That is untrue because we have the case of Mr. Lyle McDonald, who I'm not sure what, but apparently he really like completely turned his back on the keto diet altogether. And like, I mean, the guy's never done a diet or lifted a weight, so I'm not sure why anybody listens to him. He was useful to me back in the day because he had done research I couldn't access. But other than that, like
I'm friends with one of his lifters, Sue me. I'm actually friends with her. He coaches her.
with one of his.
Oh, mind blown. What?
Yeah, she's got a deadlift. She has a deadlift.
Does she grip it and rip it? Does she grip it and rip it?
With a cat. She said,
you just said Lyle McDonald is a lifting coach.
Yeah.
That would be like me being a violin coach.
I take it you don't play the violin.
I played the violin in 5th grade for a little while.
Oh, see, okay. He's qualified. He's qualified.
Apparently, he's a good coach. Like she swears.
Yo, I should get into being like a recorder coach or something for elementary schoolers here.
Hot cross buns. Hot cross buns.
That's all you need to know.
But no, I mean, he's been coaching her for like 7 or 8 years. She weighs like competes at 110 pounds and pulls like 350 cat back.
Yeah, cool.
Well, shredded. She's shredded. Like, you know,
Imagine how much she would lift if she hadn't had that fucking dipshit as her coach.
He's milking her for the money.
To not have that fucking idiot on the brakes the entire time.
I've never heard anyone trash Lyle before.
Pulling 500.
Yeah.
I'm really going off what I hear right now.
That fucking idiot is. And what
I don't even know who it is.
Liar. Yeah, I think
charlatan.
it's like refreshing.
Fuck these charlatans.
Yeah.
Well, tell us.
Yo, he was a rip. So he was, when Dan Duchesne died, he became the guy who like replaced Dan Duchesne, and he was writing the Body Opus number 2. So it was about keto dieting, and it was like the only resource for keto dieting other than Dan Duchesne and a bunch of books by idiots. So like, I was really into these books, and then I found out the man was like a psychotic goofball, lives in his parents' basement or some shit, and just says all these horrible things. And I was like, wait, he's the guy I've been quoting like in these articles about apex predator diet and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck my life. And so
he is he's an angry dude.
Yeah, Lyle's very abrasive.
Yeah.
And then it just got worse. I mean, it's like every time I hear a Marilyn Manson song and I'm like, fuck, oh, god damn it, this guy sucks. Like, he sucked when he was a Nazi, and now he goes to fucking Kanye's church. Fuck! What the
Hey, Mechanical Animals is a great album. I
never thought I'd hear Lyle McDonald be compared to Marilyn Manson, so thank you.
Yeah, that's very strange.
I'm gonna leave this in. I'm not even gonna take
he
this
was
out.
dope in that era, too, for like that, you know, for that couple of years. He was the fucking shit. And then I don't know what happened. He just he went full retard. And he went full R word. I'm sorry I said that. I wish I hadn't. Bleep it out. It's offensive to. I'm not saying that because I'm being politically correct. I'm saying that because it's offensive to people who are going 100% at all times, when I am referring to people who go 3% at all times. And it's unfair to, it's about level of effort, not about level of intellect. And anyway.
But we're good because you got a disclaimer in there, and that's the main thing. As long as we disclaim stuff.
I wanted people to understand my logic on that. I'm not just trying to please people by saying these things. I'm saying it because I feel incredibly guilty having like Corky, the guy who played Corky back in the day on that show Life Goes On, who has made hundreds of thousands of dollars as a motivational speaker, and he has fucking Down syndrome. And then you see white trash on the corner bitching about how all the black people stole their jobs or whatever. It's like, motherfucker, Corky just made 50 grand like today, motherfucker. What are you talking about? Like, his IQ is potato. What the fuck are we talking about? Just do something, bitch. Damn. Rip it and rip it.
Rip it and rip it. That's right. That's the
Imagine
sentiment.
if I hadn't been
That's
smoking all day,
focus.
what I'd be like. I've been working too hard. I'm like, I've been trying to lay back.
Yeah.
But that's something
I don't care what they say about you.
You've got to learn to unwind, man. I mean, that's with all of us too. I mean, most of us work pretty hard with all the stuff that we do. You've got to learn to unwind. You got to have some self-care in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that gets talked about enough.
I'm obsessive with my self-care too. So I'm constantly massaging and stretching. So I wake up every day like insanely sore. And I'm like, oh yeah, I just put myself on the rack for 3 days. That's probably why I hurt so bad. But like everything moves better.
Do you do rehabilitation? Like what stretches do you do? Like resistant bands or what? Or like old school dead hangs with your
We have a yoga swing in our living room, so I use that a lot. And I do like kind of faux, like so I can. There's 3 different levels that I can grab, and so I do a lot of like arms outstretched and just leaning into the stretch, or pulling my arms behind my back with the swing that you actually sit in, and just hanging forward because I can barely get my arms up. And that's like
yoga.
That's where the remainder of this is. Me not being able to do this. So, that's why I'm wearing
thinking
this shirt.
like
I'm this close to looking fantastic, and I hate the way I look right now. So I'm just wearing a long sleeve because it's driving me crazy.
Well, you look great.
Shut up. I wasn't asking for compliments. I was just explaining.
Man.
Yes, you were. You were totally fishing.
I just train in my.
I'm this close to being able to do a fucking vacuum. I'm about to blow your fucking minds. Like I've been doing muscle control, which I've figured it out. Yes.
There you go.
Did you think you'd ever be able to see this guy be able to do a fucking vacuum? No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I
used to be able to do those. I've actually been working on the same thing.
Yeah.
Just when I'm between doing some crunches and stuff, because I used to be able to do one when I was younger. I can't do one right now.
Jason, you need to start doing you need to start doing your pullovers with a barbell, a straight barbell, not a cambered barbell, a straight barbell, and do them with straight arms, straight arms. I'm telling you, it sucks, and you have to trust me. This is old school, and it's right.
Okay.
You have to go light.
I'll try it.
Light, like a 15-pound barbell. Not.
I don't have a 15-pound
barbell. Oh, go with 30-pound barbell or 45. I mean, 45 is going to be too heavy probably, but do what you can. Also,
maybe
another one,
like a 50K.
Grab the barbell here with straight arms and just lift it as high as you can. So at the end, you'll be like right here, and then back down. Do that for reps to start, and then overhand the same way. It really helps with shoulder mobility, and that's probably I'm sure Ollie lifters are going to get into the fucking thing and be like, that's an Olympic weightlifting. I don't fucking know. I'm not an Olympic weightlifter, but maybe it is. It probably should be. But
Kelly snatch.
So I just kind of. I do them really strict sometimes. I hold them in the places where I have those weak points, shit like that, just to warm up now. And it feels better. Like I'm starting to get more mobility just out of that.
Right. Cool.
Okay. That's pretty cool to know. And what was the rep scheme on that? Like 3 sets or whatever the fuck you want to do? 1 set of warm up?
Just do whatever you want to do. Just it's.
I know. Hey, there's people watching. All right.
No, but Jason's over there. But how many?
He physically sighed when you asked that question.
He looked at me like, I'm disappointed in you. I hate you. I was like, look, man. Look, for the audience.
Just fucking do it.
I don't do it. You know me, dog. I don't ask for shit, all right? I do it too.
Dude, I'm gonna have people in the audience be like, wait, on these pullovers, I should use what percentage of my 1 rep max for how many reps? I'm gonna get that in their comments. Like your 1 rep max.
Okay. Now you're cutting hair.
Because you guys are old school readers, or at least two of you are. I'm going to say to anybody who is going to go in the comments and say, I'm going to start doing straight arm pullovers, eat a fucking Frisbee. Just go and get a stick of butter, grease up that Frisbee, fold it hard, stuff it into your mouth, and just cram it down your fucking throat. Just jam your face into things until you get it down your throat. And once it's in there, you'll achieve enlightenment. But we don't want to hear about the things you're going to do ever. I don't ever want to hear about anything anybody is ever going to do. Just do it.
I'm going to do this. Okay, yeah,
afterwards.
sure. But I don't care. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. Do it and tell us afterwards. Do it for a week or 3 weeks or a month or 10 months, and then tell us. Yeah. I don't want to hear about the paleo diet changes your life, or
someone say that's
changed your life 2 weeks later. Tell me in months if they changed your life.
Yeah. CJ, what do they need to do?
It's a hard pill to swallow.
CJ, what do they need to do?
They need to shut the fuck up and grip it and rip it. I don't want to hear about you posting how you're going to do this or a paleo diet or what your fucking next max effort or how you going to shut the fuck up, get off Instagram, stay the fuck off TikTok, go fucking grip it and rip it. Go grab the barbell, grab your balls, salute the wake the fuck up. Look, I just slept in today, guys. I fucked up, all right? I don't need this shit anymore. I'm tired of you internet nerds. You fucking over analytical, paralysis of analysis. What your expectations are. You lived up to somebody else's and you suck now. Stop sucking. Start fucking. That's it, bitch. Peace.
There you go.
Channeling your inner.
So should they grip it and rip it at RPE 7 or at RPE 8?
Wake up, cocksucker.
8.2.
Yes, exactly. That's the message.
And this is metaphorical because, again, gripping it and ripping it in a literal sense is what fucked me up in the first place. Although I will say gripping it and ripping it for shit like deadlift is the way to go. Yeah, but
yes,
the
you don't want to hang out.
Making a deadlift overly technical is just proving you don't have the strength to pull the bar. You are just trying to game the system to maximize your leverages in order to pretend like you can fucking lift more than you can. That's all you're fucking doing. Just deadlift with a conventional like an adult.
Is sumo a trick lift?
Yes.
Yeah,
so is low bar squat. My 650 was horseshit. Until I get 650 with a fucking with a high bar, I am saying it was horseshit. I gamed the system and I wish I fucking hadn't. Because you know what? When I look at a fucking beautiful 650 back squat by an Olympic weightlifter who's just bounced his ass off his heels, I'm like, no, I didn't. I did a half squat at best. Right. And that's what it is. We actually codified a half squat as a full squat in one sport. And then everybody else went, oh, yeah, that's what we're going to do. What the fuck is that? No.
Yeah. And if we
whole thing,
if we did it the other way,
had to touch your heels.
If we did it the other way, we might have some quads. We might actually have some quads if we did it the other way.
Yeah. Especially if you didn't wear knee wraps. Imagine then.
Shit, right?
Ace bandages and tennis balls behind the knee.
Right? They used to do that.
Yeah.
No, now it's basically just like weird occlusion training done wrong.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do it done right, to be fair. Either or,
No, they're really just tying a tourniquet around their leg and then squatting.
But that's unpleasant. Yeah. Fuck tourniquet.
It's also almost certainly not good for you. I mean,
it's not good at all.
It's fuck tourniquet.
No, you could actually
fuck tourniquet.
Have you guys ever wrapped your knees? I mean, Jason has.
I have.
Never wrapped. No.
I wonder what your blood pressure is.
I suck at it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
So high.
Yeah.
And when you start looking at powerlifting and knee wraps, have you guys ever seen a guy tear an adductor with an unwrapped knee?
No. Oh, no.
I haven't. How many guys do you know who have ripped an adductor off the bone in knee wraps?
I know
at least 6.
Yeah.
Personally.
You're not wrong.
Who's never going to tear a bicep is somebody like who's been doing gymnastic stuff or Ninja Warrior stuff who actually can straighten their arms all the fucking way.
Yeah.
The reason why powerlifters can't actually, like, they can't get through a deadlift without popping off a bicep is because we have unintentionally shortened our biceps by doing everything with bent arms.
Yeah. And I have that problem now. It's got worse and worse. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
You need to try going to 15 or 10 straight arm laterals and flex your arms as hard as you can straight and do them so that they go 10 inches or 12 inches above, like parallel to the ground. That's the old school Sig Klein way. It changes your mobility entirely. Like it's fixing my arm fast, but you have to go light and do them right. And And then you can turn them sideways and then do them overhead thusly. I mean, it's a great way to do them. But like I said,
and the point we come back
my arm all the way.
With all of that, if we have all those ranges of motions and we can load them, we can gain more muscle.
Yeah.
Yep. And I also
I'll be more jacked.
Forward, so I cross them over in the front to get chest mobility and take them out wide. So I'm doing this with 10s and 15s, like as a warm up. Doing this, going overhead here. And like I do arm circles sometimes with that weight. Usually I do them with no weight, but like little curls, but I'll do them really, really strict with my, so I'll roll my shoulders forward. So my arms are like sitting on my lats and then flex everything as hard as I can and just curl like, so I'm getting a huge stretch at the bottom and just really flexing my arms as hard as I can to stretch them at the bottom and then curling it in using only biceps. And like, you can actually feel definition coming into your arms. It's dope.
Almost like a preacher doing it yourself. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I like putting them out like that and doing that. I found it's way nice. Look at that.
Same thing. Yeah, because you're getting that stretch at the bottom, and we've always been missing that stretch. Because we cut everything short.
Feels good.
Yeah.
And we bend our arms and our laterals. So I mean, I've been bending my arms like this for years.
So again, we restore range of motion, we restore mobility, we can all get more jacked. And I think almost every guy out here who lifts, they all want to get more jacked.
Yeah.
And the best way I can explain it is if you've ever had a sheet wrapped around you, and if you have it wrapped around you right, you have room to move. But if the sheet is all twisted up and fucked up around you, you can't move. So if your toga was like wrapped up and pinned to your arm, like you're gonna have trouble doing lateral raises and shit. That's what we've all been doing. So getting all this shit done is unraveling that toga of musculature around us.
Yeah.
And then once that's done, you just start expanding outward.
Right. Yeah. And we all gain more muscle. We're all more fit, less injuries,
literally
more
instantaneously.
jacked.
I have to eat candy just to keep from passing the fuck out because like my muscles need glycogen every day.
Glycogen, that's right. That's very important.
You gotta have carbs.
Thanks, DJ. It is important.
Well, I run a very pro carbohydrate channel, so we're good.
No, I keto dieted for about 15 years. So like a menace.
I
mean, no cheating, like a psychopath. So it was.
Yeah.
I had some problematic eating. I did a little bulimia action in college. You know, sometimes you got to explore all your options. And I was a 134-pound wrestler, so I wanted bagels sometimes.
Oh,
you had to try to do most extreme stuff.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, man. I mean, when you compete and stuff, it's different, and people have to remember that. You know, they talk about that. I'm like, competing in any sport is not really healthy at the end of the day. I mean, because we're going to push things.
Division 3. I was just doing it for fun. I really just did it for fun. And my sophomore year, they bumped me up to 150, even though I walked around at like 148. So I would just be eating as I got onto the scale just to be an asshole. Yeah. And I was jacked for like a 135-pound wrestler. And like, I was still really jacked at 145, but at 150, there was like a jump. And like, because they were cutting down from 170. And yeah, it was, I would get abused, but whatever. I just enjoyed wrestling. And that's why I knew that like that running didn't fuck up your lifts. Cause like I had been running obsessively since sophomore year of high school, and I bought books about Bruce Lee. Like every day. We
all know Viata, and I mean Viata runs, and the dude is fucking.
Yeah, Viata.
Yeah,
he's crazy fucking jacked and crazy strong.
Yep.
And the dude can run circles around all of us put together.
He's funny as shit. I love that dude.
Yeah.
He's a maniac.
I need to chat with him and get him back on. I haven't had him on my channel in about 9 years. The last time he was on. So
he and I met before we were either anybody. Like it was we met through an ex-girlfriend I had at the Duke gym, and it was just when I met him, like we shook hands, and then he starts giggling, and I was like, what's going on? And his girlfriend comes hopping over on one foot, and she's like, where the fuck did you put it? And he's like, what? And she goes, my leg. And I was like, God damn it! Did he take her leg and he put it on top of the fucking cable crossover? And he's cracking the fuck up, and he's like, yeah, it's my fiance. I forget what her name is. And I was like, hey, how's it going? Holy shit, bro. Even for me, like that's fucking wow. And then she went hopping across the gym to go grab it. She's jumping up to grab it on one foot. And then she finally grabbed it and stuck it on. She was like, you're a fucking asshole. And he was like, I told you you'd get it.
Yeah, no, I like Beata. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Oh no,
I love his book. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. CJ.
No, this book's great. Yeah.
I probably should grab it now that I'm trying to work on conditioning too, because I've always pimped his stuff and told people, look, if you want to run and lift, go read Alex's shit. I tell people that, and I don't even have the book. I should probably go get it.
Probably.
Probably a good idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
What a hypocrite! Jesus Christ.
Wow.
God damn it.
Not even read it.
I know, right?
What a shitty friend.
Oh, one other book everyone should buy, and I keep forgetting to put him over on my Instagram, but the guy's name is Geronimo Milo, and he wrote a book called Kettlebell Secrets Revealed, I believe, and it is so fucking good. It literally fills in all of the blanks that I couldn't find because I think his sources were in Spanish and other languages. He writes in Spanish and English, and this book gives background on the Russians that you never knew and like all different kinds of people, but it also shows you exactly how to do all these kettlebell moves and tells you why you should do them because they were the favorites of these Russians who had 19-inch cold measured arms and shit. Like, and they all credited one lift, and it's in that book. So buy the fucking book. It is dope. And I feel badly for never putting him over, but that dude is a monster with the kettlebells, and I really recommend that people start learning them because it is another one of the pieces of that pie I was talking about. Yeah. Kettlebells, calisthenics, light dumbbells for doing all those, like the things I was talking about, and tempo lifting, like body pump style tempo lifting. Yeah. And then heavy lifting is just something they did 3 times a week. These are natty lifters, well, with Coke. But they don't, and the heavy lifting would happen after all that other shit. They would also do heavy lifting 3 times a week, but the rest of the time they were just doing that stuff. And I think if we got back to that, we would be both stronger and we would look so much fucking better. Yeah. Like, so, because I'm looking at these French and those old school guys, and like, they just looked so much better than we look. They looked like lifters. And so I don't know. I wore a sleeveless shirt for the longest time because I wanted people to know I was not fat. I was jacked. I don't know if you guys ever did that, but now, like, I just look jacked no matter what I'm wearing. So, like, but that was a big thing for me. I always just cut off the sleeves because I wanted people to know, like, these aren't fat steps; these are biceps. My face was fat. And
I always feel like working the tricep built the arm. I don't know about you guys, but the tricep always works, and doing strict Ranger style push-ups always did the trick. And I think eventually when I added my accessory work, it just grew. This thing just blew up.
Is there a hand width? Is there a hand width on that?
Yeah, so narrow, like literally your thumbs should be right inside, like the index finger should be right inside your shoulders right here. And just like that.
And then you're pulling your hands right into your, that would work the exact range of motion I'm fucking missing too.
Look at that. That's how you fucking do it. And literally you're working your fucking you can't cheat it. You can have the most dickhead grader and you'll be okay. You will pass a push-up event. You know what I mean? And you'll grow
genetics.
your fucking
It's not genetics. It's that we didn't fucking stretch for 40 years and now we just look like shit. So, and I always looked weird because I've always had this weird locus of knots in the middle of my chest that I've been trying to get out for the last 3 years, but it's pulled everything forward. So now that I'm pulling it back, it's all looking better.
Yeah.
It's expanding
out. Yes.
Yeah.
Keep getting wider and wider and wider.
Instead of the light dumbbells, Jamie, I'm quite a big fan of, like Meals, Indian clubs. I've got a few of them, and they just do the same thing. You can do the same shit.
That's the exact same idea.
They just flow a bit better than dumbbells, but same thing. Same thing.
Yeah. And I didn't have the wrist flexibility to use them properly before, but maybe I'll start trying those because they have them at my gym too.
Yeah.
Base, fucking.
I've not used that much, but the club Meals, they're cool. Yeah, cool.
Oh, I gotta try that, bro.
I need to start doing some of that stuff too, just again for my shoulders, because it's all the same concept, whether it's kettlebells, clubs, and base. You're working your shoulders through, all those angles and ranges of motion.
Yeah.
There's a video of the Iron Sheik doing like, I don't know, it's a 100-pound club or something like that on stage, and he challenges people in the crowd. and James Hellwig, the Ultimate Warrior, comes out all coked up, jacked up before he was when he was still a bodybuilder, before he was he thinks he's gonna smoke this thing, looking at him like, ah, you fat little fucking brown man, and then got smoked by the club. Like he just it was probably close to knocking himself out with that fucking thing. And so yeah, that, I mean, it takes legit hand and wrist strength, and also a shoulder flexibility we don't typically develop in the United States.
Yeah. That's why the Iranian wrestlers, like, they use a lot of unconventional things. Like, they've got this it looks like a bow kind of thing, and it's all kind of little symbols, and they're using that for like the shoulder flexibility and stuff. It's really cool.
It's like a tambourine too, because it's got little jingly things on it, because they all train to music. Nobody should ever train not to music. It is literally in our DNA to train to music. So I'm sure that music came before. Yeah, music came before speech, and exercise certainly came before speech. Like, we've been doing this for a long time. So yeah, it's something that people like to do.
Where we just put sounds together and we're like just dancing to it, lifting to it with just sounds.
Fucking jam.
Well, it's like I was saying last time, Jamie, we have research even showing that mothers coo to their newborn babies back and forth in the pentatonic scale.
There you go. Yeah. I mean it's
that's fucking wild. Isn't that fucking wild? That's what I'm saying. We're like born with this shit, bro.
Yeah. See, you as a guy playing the guitar, it's like, oh shit, you know. Yeah, because that's what we all build.
You just feel it.
The blues and everything off of those same scales.
Lifting is art. Lifting is art.
Relearn language just from music you know in your past. If your whole language center in your brain's destroyed, you can relearn how to speak through old songs that you know.
Well, but look at how we tie it.
Hold the fuck up. Whoa. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, they have people sing along. They realize that from like grandmas and grandpas. Like, they could have just sing along with music. They would just all of a sudden start singing. And then if they needed something, they could sing the words to a song. If they knew the song and they had sung it like so that they remembered the words, they could sing what they needed to people until they learned how to speak again. Like, that is so fucking sick, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like a soundboard. It's like you could turn someone into a soundboard, or like a DJ is communicating his feelings, you know, vicariously. It's just like,
dude, it's like music is literally stored inside of your body rather than in your brain. It's somewhere else.
Well, think about how your memory works. Think about how your memory works with music. How many times have you heard a song come on that you tied with certain events and memories, and as soon as you hear that song, everything just comes back.
Yeah.
All of those memories. Like right now, I bet you right now, every one of you guys know what song was playing the first time you had sex with a girl.
Oh yeah, absolutely. or to Canada? I don't know.
Really? My ex and I used to listen to a ton of metal, but I don't remember what song it was when we'd listen. Like, it was something fucking brutal. It was something people shouldn't talk about. It was something insane. Like, I'm trying to think of. Yeah, no, it was like Job for a Cowboy or some fucking hate breed or something.
Oh
yeah, no, that, I mean, that's that my ex. Yo, bro, my ex-wife would fuck every last one of you up. She would fuck you up and make you feel badly about it after she had done so.
I would feel bad.
Jesus
She was a
ruthless
fucking beast. Yeah, she was ruthless and stronger than any guy I ever trained with.
Yeah.
So,
but the point there is we all know that we have songs that when we hear that song and we have memories tied to it, we just get this enormous flood of memories coming back in. It just triggers it. It's just something.
I actually don't listen to songs in my lifting playlist a lot outside of my lifting playlist. Especially if I'm going through a time where I'm just feeling low and I'm not like kind of being able to get it, I've got songs I keep in my back pocket that get me going. Or I have a goat mix that is songs that I took out of my lifting mix that I only listen to when I'm like, I need to remember that I'm the shit. Right. So.
Oh yeah, man. Absolutely. I think that's the thing. It's a mental thing. And if you listen to music that makes you feel like shit, you're gonna feel like shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
If you listen to negative music, I actually changed the lyrics to songs now to positive songs. Like, there's a Job or a Red Chord song where the breakdowns, it's not going to be all right. It's not going to be okay. And I always say, it is going to be all right. It's already okay. Or already is okay.
Positive.
Shit like that. Because I just
it's positive. No, you're right.
Yeah. And I just repeat doing a good job to myself sometimes, and I'm like having a shitty day but I'll do it in a death growl, or listen to a song that's posy like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I do it with the national anthem. You know, I'm the best motherfucker out here. Fuck all you motherfuckers.
Yeah, there you go.
The Joey Diaz shit. You know, it's positive. Who gives a fuck?
What's your song?
Not like some.
Well, no, man. I just like music. I checked out City Morgue actually recently. From what you said,
nice.
They were fucking legit. They were good. Yeah,
they're
good. Yeah, man.
And plus, they're short, so you get these songs with like they just go and they hit you, and then it's like, all right, then we're on to the next shit. I'm going to see him this month, actually, the end of this month with Ghostmane. Oh, it's gonna be so fucking dope. Oh,
nice.
Suicide Boys, Ghostmane, City Morgue. I don't know who the fuck's on the bill after that. I don't care, but that's just insane. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah. Nice.
Are they the equivalent now to when we had Limp Bizkit and Korn? Are they like the new thing of that? I think they kind of tie in. They remind me of that.
I think they're because they're
like
they have videos about moshing, like how to mosh and like the history of moshing. They go on and they're funny as shit to go on before the thing, and they encourage people to mosh. They have a fucking wall of death. It's the nicest wall of death ever because everybody's pogo pitting. Nobody's crowd and like nobody's crowd killing or anything. It's it's so much fun. Yeah, and everybody's just screaming lyrics, and the lyrics are all like kill everybody and like I'm gonna fucking sell 1 million drugs today. But like none of it. It's all just like people who are dressed like it's 2002.
It's wholesome.
What's that?
I said it's wholesome.
It's so wholesome.
Exactly.
Yeah, he said it's wholesome.
Yeah, the pit was a little more brutal when we were younger.
Oh God, dude! I remember as a kid too.
Oh yeah, hardcore. But hardcore's fucking dumb.
Is that Fugazi? We're talking about Fugazi here, like straight edge type shit.
No, we're talking about the mid '90s when it was guys like me who were all wrestling, and we're the people who drove Kurt Cobain out of hardcore because we would all just come from wrestling practice into shows, and we'd all be beating the shit out of everybody in the pit because we all actually now it's either people are crowd killing or they don't hit each other. We would be windmilling, spin kicking. People took karate just to fucking survive the pit. You would go.
That's what I remember it being.
Yeah.
It would be like punching, like I remember fighting. It was bad.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. And then it was like the metal shows that had a hardcore pit and a metal pit. Those were a nightmare because there were always fights there. But it was fun. We were just maniacs.
It was fun though, isn't that weird? Like there was an agreement, like, hey, we're gonna go punch each other. I like you though, I love you, but I'm gonna hit you. It was fucking weird. Are we fucked up? That's what I mean? We're so sterile now.
Right.
You know, we liked it. It's that bloody knuckles. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking weird.
That was our purge. That was our chance.
What was that like when we were little boys and we would go and like punch the biggest kid that we could see and then be like, ha ha ha, and run away and wait for that kid to beat us up? Like that was a thing we enjoyed. What the fuck is wrong?
I don't know, but I remember there was an agreement. It was like, we're gonna punch each other. Cool.
Go find the biggest dude.
We had a prison mentality. We're being shadow governed to be stupid. I don't know.
I remember doing that and then trying to get away from the dude by jumping onto 2 Tonka trucks in my feet in the backs of them. And I cracked my fucking head on the ground and he just jumped on my chest. It didn't work out. It worked out bad, you know?
I mean,
I didn't win every fight growing up.
That's the nodding. That's the nodding in the chest. That explains it.
Yeah, that's it.
That guy jumped on Jamie's chest that time and it left a...
There you go.
Yeah, it's just knotted him the fuck up.
No, I think actually I've been tense throughout my entire life because I never stretched out. And the muscular tension literally makes you tense.
Yeah.
For real. You are incapable of fully relaxing until you get all those knots and everything out. Well, and I know it sounds crazy, but it is definitely for a fact true. I've had it happen to me over the course of the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Oh shit, man. Shoulders, bro. It's always the shoulders. It doesn't matter. Everyone's got a fucking shoulder problem, bro. Yeah. Not Jason. I'm not talking about you, dog. I'm talking about like just like everyone in the military. Yeah, like in the military, everyone has or Lou. I didn't know Lou did, but in the military, people have. Oh, okay. I thought I heard him say Lou. Sorry.
Damn, calling Lou out.
I love you, Lou. He's my home.
Shoulders are good. Yeah.
No, but it's like everyone in the like, oh, my shoulders. And I think you said it's because they do too much bench pressing, and therefore they're just tight all the time. They can't fucking
benching, but like short and range benching, just like
right.
Well, we've all been benching wrong because we've been packing our shoulders and doing that arch, and that has squashed everything up and forward rather than where it is supposed to go. And that's why all of us have like weird looking armpits where there used to be like that very stark delineation, you know?
Oh, okay. That's wild.
Just have to check then.
Yeah, I'm like looking at my camera.
Yeah, no, like look at Lewis. I'm not trying to call you out, but like there should be a very stark delineation between your shoulder, no matter how fat you are, between your shoulder and your pec and your bicep, and you just have that whatever there, and you can actually see where the muscle and everything should be separate. I can see it, and like I got some off these fucking mirrors, but yeah, like so. Yeah, I think that you could really sell, like if you started massaging, and I mean I could probably just jam my finger into your clavicle region and you would pass the fuck out. So
you take a man down with one finger that way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Or in the sternum or something like that, or here.
Or pull the ear. I don't know.
Yeah.
CJ's bringing his hand to hand into this.
Yeah. Sorry. I had squad leaders that taught me weird shit. You know what I'm talking about, dog. Come on, you got to save a casualty. You got to save. You got to make sure he's alive. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he's not responsive. Hold on.
Okay, so where are we going now? Are we done?
We could probably wind this one down. And of course, everyone, I'm going to link everywhere that I put this. I'm going to link everyone's pages, and you guys follow all these people.
Hell yeah!
Follow them. Follow us. Damn it.
Follow them.
Follow us.
Why wouldn't you follow us?
Fucking logical lifting, motherfucking Plague of Strength, motherfucking Jason Blaha. Don't give a fuck. Grip it and rip it, bitch. Salute the fucking flag.
Start using good form. Grip it and rip it, but start using good form, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but use good form for fuck's sake. Don't be stupid.
No, because you're seriously like, I'm not even doing power curls or anything anymore. Until I get all the shit fixed, I'm not doing anything fucked up and like doing anything hard. I'm just training full range of motion and just working everything because I've already built the muscle. And so it's going to, like, the second that I start going heavy, I'm going to be obscenely strong through every part of the range of motion rather than just in the parts that I was and then trying to cover it up with, well, I can shift my arm here and, well, I'm just not going to do that exercise in public anymore. And then you just stop cutting. You just keep cutting exercises because you are embarrassed of not be able to do them. You know, how do you want to be a big guy and you can't do a push-up or, you know what I mean?
Can't tie your shoes, can't wipe your ass, you know?
Yep.
We have to be good at everything.
Yes.
Especially those ladders.
We don't have to. Well, my wife says that I'm absurd and an obscene perfectionist who needs a lot of therapy, but it's just that there are things you can fix, and if you 100%. Fix them, your life gets better. So yeah.
Well, let's end it on that note then.
Yeah. There you go. All right.
Right on, bro.
All right. Take care, everyone.
All right.